what's up, North County? I'm your host, Randy Doty, and today we have a special guest. We have Chad Bushnell, country music singer that's going to be headlighting at the Cal Poly Rodeo on Saturday, right?
Yep.
Hey, thanks for coming in, man.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
This is great.
You got your rig over there, so you're ready to rock and roll. So we'll play some music too.
Sure.
A couple of your hits, maybe.
Okay.
So Chad, tell me a little bit about you. Like, you grew up north here. Tell me a little bit about your growing up period.
So I grew up in Red Bluff, California, and just pretty, about an hour and a half, 2 hours south of the Oregon border, so pretty north. And, I grew up in a rodeo family, and my parents both did rodeo, and my dad's a farrier, so I grew up doing that. And we always played music. I come from, all my family, played in bands. My great-grandparents were opera singers. And so I just, was always around music. And, I decided, I loved rodeo, but I just knew it wasn't going to be my, my thing after high school. And so I decided to stick with music. I always played growing up, campfires, sang national anthems at rodeos. And basically, once I got through college, I just knew that's what I want to do for a career. So
you kind of gave up the rodeo. You should probably still do it on, at home and stuff. But you're kind of did like a Cody Johnson.
Yeah, except I was more of a team roper, I guess. He was more of a bull rider.
Yeah.
I kind of stayed clear of the bull riding thing, but yeah, no, it's great. Obviously I've taught my sister, she has a whole career in rodeo, and so I just like to go watch her and hang out now, so,
What was it? So up north, Red Bluff area, it's kind of a smaller area. It's kind of like this area. Mm-hmm. Kind of, everybody knows everybody's business and that kind of stuff. So did you grow up kind of like that, where you couldn't, you didn't have too far of a lead?
Yeah. It was, like I said, everybody knows everybody up there, and Red Bluff's a rodeo town. They have the Red Bluff Roundup, which is the third largest rodeo in the country, I think, or the third largest 3-day rodeo in the country. And so, like I said, everybody knows everybody, and it was a great place to grow up. I wouldn't have really changed it.
And so when you were in high school, because you're in music, obviously, were you in the bands? Did you do all that kind of stuff?
I did. When I was about 12, my dad and mom started taking me to open mic nights, and I'd perform at those things. I entered talent shows. And then when I was 15, I won my first talent show in Red Bluff. And then from there, probably one of the coolest things I got to do early on was perform at the state convention for FFA. And
no kidding.
A lot of people start out that way. I did it 3 years in a row, and it was at the Selland Arena in Fresno. And so that was the first big thing. I was about 16, and I walked in, there was 5,000 people in the crowd, and I about, passed out. It's like,
now, did you play and sing? You did with the band, or in just solo?
Solo acoustic. So, you can imagine, I'd went from performing like open mic nights and national anthems, and then all of a sudden here, just me and an acoustic in front of 5,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah,
at 16.
16, and I performed my favorite song, "Just Call Me Lonesome," and Radney Foster, and so that was my.
What was the feeling like when you were done playing and they cheered for you?
It was cool. I think that's really what wow, I want to do this. That was kind of the moment. It's about 16, and I went on to do it 3 or 2 more years, and then I went and got some of my school out of the way, and then when I transferred to Chico State, I entered. I was online. I entered American Country Star contest, and it was kind of like the sort of the spinoff of Nashville Star. Like Nashville Star was the big, the big thing, and then when that dropped, American Country Star, they were trying to make that the next thing. Anyway, so I saw it online. It was, I was at Chico State, so I entered it, and I went back to Nashville, and I ended up in the top 30. And so I was like, yeah, it was cool. So the second year, I said, hey, I'm gonna enter it one more time, just give it another shot. And it was my last year of college. Well, I ended up making the top 10 to be in the finals to go back to Nashville. So I decided, hey, we're gonna make that my my graduation gift. I graduated from Chico, and so that summer I flew back to Nashville, competed in the top 10, and that's really what kind of opened up some doors for.
Did you win?
It was the top 3.
Top 3?
Top 3. No. It was great. I made so many connections. Jonathan Frizzell, who was Lefty Frizzell's nephew, he was one of my best buddies in Nashville. He co-produced my first album, Tennessee, and that really, that's where I started making all my connections, was meeting all those people. And so, yeah.
Do you think so? So you go back to Nashville quite a bit.
Yeah.
So you go back and forth. So obviously the scene. I mean, is that really where you need to be in order to like make it in country music, you think?
Yeah, you know, it's changed so much. I think in the 80s and 90s, I think you really had to, because there wasn't social media. There, you know, you had to be there playing downtown. But the last, 12, 15 years, it's changed with, I mean, they have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all these things. You can write songs on Zoom. So anymore, I mean, like, look, Joe and Martina, I mean, they're here a lot. They're in California.
Oh yeah, they've been in here before.
Yeah, and so I don't know that you really have to live permanently in Nashville. I think nowadays, it's a lot of in and out. Like if you're from California or if you're from Georgia, I think you can live there. Obviously, if it gets to a point where you get big enough to where, you have a few 100,000 followers on TikTok and you start having things really going, I think that's the point when you do have to move there. But
now, okay, so you graduate college and then you're like, okay, now what did you get your degree in?
Business.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you're also a farrier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what you kind of do, side hustle type deal, but you really want the music.
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, no, it was great. I grew up shoeing horses with my dad, and he wanted me to be able to shoe horses by the time I went to Chico. That was our goal, just basic, And so I was able to shoe horses, and between shoeing horses and playing shows, get through college, And that's what I've just continued to do. But, it gives me, I still get that lifestyle, I don't have to do shows 100% of the time. And, I still like shooting horses a little bit in between. I get to kind of have the family lifestyle and, because those guys I have some friends that play 4 or 5 nights a week, what I mean? It's a grind to do that every single week.
Oh, yeah.
And,
It's hard.
when I shoe horses, I can go work from 8 to 3 or 4 and come home and still, Monday through Thursday have that normal family life, which is important. And then go in between and do tours, and so, yeah.
So, obviously you play in bars and event centers and stuff like that up there where you're at. Now, how do you find, like being a musician, how do you find like other places, other gigs, other, venues to play at?
Man, it's a constant grind. I think just, like when I first started, everyone said, you just got to get out and play. And so that's what I played I have some stories of some of the places I played. Like
Tell me.
On the front, one of my first, I'd played little family get-togethers and stuff, and one of my first gigs, my dad got me. He was shoeing horses for someone who helped manage Tractor Supply in Reading.
Okay.
And they had the grand opening, and I don't know if you've been up to Red Bluff, but it gets like 120 degrees during the summer, And I'm pretty used to the heat, but so I went over there, just my acoustic guitar. I brought my sound, and I set up right in front of Tractor Supply, so there's people coming in and out. And I had about this much space, just enough, and with my little speaker. And to the right of me was the guy with the hot dog stand.
Oh, jeez.
And we're like elbow to elbow, and and then to the left of me, no joke, in a little corral was just a horse, Clydesdale horse, and it was reaching over and it was licking my ear and it was grabbing my hat, and I'm sitting there trying to play, and I'm sitting there going, what am I doing? But that's what you got to do. I mean, when you're first starting out, any kind of gig you can get. I mean, I've played for places where there's nobody there, and I basically just worked my way up. A talent agency saw me out of Sacramento, and they started getting me gigs. After I did that for a couple of years, they finally said, hey, we want to get you some gigs. And my first official, I'd say opening slot gig was for Frank Hannon, who was with Tesla.
Oh, okay.
That was my first. I was like, wow. And I opened for Cripple Creek, who's Whiskey Dawn, who's a big band in Sacramento. They're kind of were the biggest band. I opened for Whiskey Dawn and Frank Hannon from Tesla. So it was pretty cool.
Wow. Yeah. And it looks like you've been opening act for like Kris Kristofferson, Dwight Yoakam, Scotty McCreery, Lee Brice, which American Idol guys.
Yeah.
Billy Currington. How was that?
Amazing.
Did you get to meet them and talk to them and stuff?
Yeah. So that's what that led to. I mean, after getting open for the Tesla guy, it just kind of ended up getting open for Mark Will, or my very first opening slot was James Otto. I don't know if you remember him.
Oh yeah.
Super cool. I went on to open for James probably 3 or 4 times, but I gotta say the highlight probably was Kris Kristofferson, because he's the songwriter of songwriters, and
right, the Highwayman,
the legend. That was an opportunity through Ben Haggard, who's a good buddy of mine, Merle Haggard's son, up there. And after the fires happened in 2018, Kris came and did a free show to help raise money for the fire victims. And so I got to open for Kris Kristofferson and Ben Haggard at the Cascade Theater. And yeah, I got to meet him and talk to him and get my picture with him, and it was just really, really awesome. So,
wow.
yeah.
I mean, the music industry is like, I mean, it could like this. I mean, it could literally happen overnight. Just the right people, the right, eyes and ears, huh?
Pretty much. Yeah, it's definitely all who you know. I didn't realize how important that was in, the first few years I was in Nashville. But I'm like, it really is. It's all who you know, and the more you can make your web bigger, constantly.
Do you find that like getting the side gigs and stuff like that, the money that they offer you is just like, so it's like really, they want you to come and play for nothing or drinks or something like that. Do you find it, that pretty much a hustle?
That's constant. Yeah. I mean, you have to do that, especially when you're starting out. I mean, you got to play for free. You got to do whatever you can. And then, there's certain artists that, have different situations than others. And some people can't do that at a certain point, because there's certain artists that have backers, investors, and there's certain artists that are kind of the blue collar level where they have to work their day job. And so, that gets to be a tough thing. But yeah, I mean, I always try to go out and play wherever I can to a point, I guess, financially,
Is now when you say like day job, night job, and stuff like that, are you doing music full time with the exception of a couple, side doing the horseshoeing?
Yeah. I mean, I hit it pretty hard, especially once March hits through October, November, we hit it pretty hard, But I've held on to the horseshoeing, and then because sometimes stuff happens, shows cancel, and vehicle problems, and so I try to keep that extra money rolling in, and then I work with I have my own jerky too, and so that's another side hustle.
And so where does these gigs come from? Are you out making the contacts, do you send CDs anymore, or do you send links or something?
I send links a lot. I always start out with just messaging and emails. You wait a few days, you don't hear anything, you wait a week, then I follow up, and then if I have to, I call. But then the agency, they get me gigs too. So it's kind of a team effort. My mom, you call her my momager. She helps get some shows too.
Yeah.
It's kind of my sister, everybody just kind of like, hey, my friend they need a band for this and that. And you just don't know what that's going to open up, opportunities. And I've had so much of that happen. A lot of social media though. I mean, I'm on social media every day, post pretty much every day if I can. And just, you're constantly putting stuff out there and people see stuff. And, I've got to do some really cool gigs the last 5 years that I'm just like, man, you're always, as an artist, you're hoping for, Grand Ole Opry, you're hoping for all these big things. But I'm sitting there like, man, this is a pretty cool gig. Like, I'm like.
Have you ever gotten contacted like somebody big through social media? Through your Instagrams or TikTok? What's your primary social media, you think?
The one that does the best is probably Facebook, but I'd say Instagram is probably that's the one I'm probably on the most. I get the most traction on Facebook though. It just seems to be, for some reason. TikTok's the hardest, and I think that's just because that's a really young, I mean, you're getting, I think, like the 15, 16-year-olds, is really, once you start getting to a certain age, TikTok, as far as the music, I think that gets lost. There's millions of people who just post videos of them playing and singing. It's almost gotten to where they want to see you do something kind of dumb, like dance,
Your guitar blow up when you get electrocuted.
Yeah, so I'd say Facebook and Instagram really gets the most traction with playing and singing and posting music videos. So.
Have you navigated over to X yet?
No, I haven't really.
No. So you're coming down here. You're playing at the Cal Poly Rodeo Saturday night.
Yeah.
And your band is still up north. They're going to be traveling down. Mm-hmm. And so what's the game plan? Do you have like fire and I mean, do you have a show? Like do you plan out the show beforehand?
Well, yeah, I talked to the sound crew, and we have different things for different songs. And I wanted to add this in there. I do a Garth Brooks tribute show too, and I do it as much as the agency wants to book us. And that's kind of my side hustle too. But I'm still getting to do what I love. I never was sure about doing a tribute act because you of course every artist's dream, you want to do your own. You want to be out, get famous for your own originals. But Garth Brooks has been such a big influence of why I do this, And so finally in 2020, when I pitched it to the agency, I said, hey, could I do a Garth Brooks tribute? It was a lot of work getting it going, trying to get the band. But now that I do it, I really love doing it. And so we're actually making the show kind of half Garth Brooks, half Chad show, just because, you know, the rodeo people, they love Garth, you know, and so we're just gonna make it a really energetic show. I'm bringing the fiddle and steel player, and it's just gonna.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
You gonna wear brush popper shirts?
No, I'm still dressing like Chad, but we're gonna sing Garth a little. It's gonna be half Chad and half Garth, you know, and throwing some Texas country songs in there because those college kids love that red dirt music, you know, and so.
100%. Yeah,
So.
it's, you know, it's pretty cool where we live. Is, you know, as we were talking before the show, I mean, there's a lot of artists, there's a lot of music on the Central Coast.
Yeah.
Tons, more than we actually really know. I mean, there's everywhere. You walk into anywhere, somebody's playing something. There's venues all over the place, and you know, the country music, you know, scene, you know, is pretty popular.
Yeah.
You know, I would say probably country and probably like rock, you know, like classic type rock. And you know, so there's different artists that we've even had here on the show, you know, that play country music. They play at wineries, Rava, you know, and whatnot. So I think you know, if you're coming down here, have you ever gotten gigs down here or tried to get gigs?
You know, it's crazy because I've played so much like Fresno, Merced, Bakersfield, like that whole side. Of course, you know, Sacramento north, clear up to Portland and all over. But I'm just kind of now starting to get down here. You know, other than the Poly Royal, I don't really have anything booked here right now. But we're going to be in Hemet, which is, you know, San Diego area. I was in Temecula earlier this year, Bakersfield, Norco. So I'm starting to get booked. That's my goal right now, is to get booked in the southern part of the state, Arizona, and so I'm really hammering that right now.
And is that the whole band, or is that just you solo?
It's both. Mostly full band shows. I mean, we're playing we landed the Norco concert series thing this year. I'm super stoked because I've heard a lot of good things about that town. Hemet, we're playing a full band theater show, and so just kind of all kinds of different stuff. You know, whatever people want, you know.
Well, you were Country Vocalist of the Year at Josie Music Awards in 2020, and you recently won Modern Country Song of the Year with Fallin' in Love with You. Mm-hmm. So obviously that's your own song. What gives you the inspiration?
Yeah, I was writing songs for my Whiskey to Work album, and you know, I had like 8 songs, I needed 10, you know, and so I'm sitting there going, okay, I'm gonna write the best I can myself, get songs from Nashville, and I took a day off from shoeing and I just wrote Fallen in Love. I don't know, it kind of I just said, hey, I'm gonna take a day off, I'm gonna spend the whole day writing a song. And Josh Turner, I'm a big Josh Turner fan, and I love that album, the Firecracker album. That's just always, like, ever since high school, that's been like one of my favorite albums. And so I put that album on, and I kind of listened to a few songs, and I kind of said, I want to write something that sounds like something on here, you know. And so I turned it off, I started playing, and then that's how I came up with Fallen in Love. So I don't.
You just write it down as you go? Yeah,
I just wrote it. You know, I just
in one day.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I fine-tuned it after, but I pretty much wrote it in one day. And I said, you know, I kind of like this song, so I put it on the album, got it recorded in Texas, actually. And yeah, that was like, I didn't expect that song to win anything. All of a sudden, they called my name. I said, what? And so.
So, writing your own lyrics, your own songs, I mean, because I don't know how it works, how does the music part, who writes the music and the tunes to it? You as well?
Yeah. I'm probably better at the melody than I am the lyrics sometimes. It's where, that's why I go back to Nashville, and some of those guys that write 5 days a week, I try to write with them because they're such good lyricists. But I usually kind of come up with the melody and kind of the hook, and then I write the best I can myself. But this one I wrote all myself, and I pitched the idea to the guys in Texas, and then they kind of did some stuff to it as well. And that'll happen. Like whatever producer you go through, if you choose to go through a producer, they'll take it and change it. And then they say, hey, do you like this? And you're like, yeah, yay or nay, And so a lot of times, I mean, those guys, especially the guy that produced Fall in Love, I mean, it's Nate Kuhn. He's Aaron Watson's head producer. So, you're kind of like, well, it's good enough for Aaron Watson. It's good enough for me. So right. I said, they'll just roll with that, And so I really like what they came up with. And I'd love to record more with those guys. I thought it was great,
Awesome. Yeah. Well, we're gonna take a break, and then maybe you can get your guitar out.
Yeah.
And we can play a little bit of some of the stuff that you got.
That'd be awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. We will be right back to What's Up North County.
Hi, it's Alex with Suprema Meat Market. We are a Mexican meat market with a taqueria. Come enjoy our high-quality cuts and meats. We offer choice and prime Harris Ranch beef, as well as chicken, seafood, and pork items. In the taqueria, all of our tacos come with handmade tortillas. We also offer specialty items like chilaquiles and chile rellenos. Come enjoy Taco Tuesday with Suprema. We offer our tacos at $1.99 each. Suprema Meat Market is located at 8950 Montecito Avenue in Atascadero.
Are you tired of looking at that worn-out concrete garage floor, patio, or porch? Look no further than MGP Coatings, where customer service reigns supreme. Our team goes above and beyond to ensure your satisfaction every step of the way. Before we even start coating, we meticulously repair your concrete, ensuring a flawless finish that lasts. And here's the best part. Our Pentec coatings are 4 times stronger than epoxy, so they won't chip or peel, making maintenance a breeze. Plus, they come with a limited lifetime warranty. Call us today at 805-952-5301 or check out our Facebook and Instagram and experience the MGP coating difference. Don't wait. Transform your garage, patio, porch, or driveway and become a part of the MGP coating family.
Hey, welcome back to What's Up North County. We are here with Chad Bushnell. He's going to be playing at the Cal Poly Rodeo Saturday night, and we're chatting here about his music journey and his own lyrics, his own music that he's been writing. So he's getting geared up to play a couple things and let everybody see what you got before a little preview, right?
Sure,
yeah. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Well, there you go. Here is Chad Bushnell.
Yeah, so I wrote this song, like I mentioned, I shoot horses, and it was storming one day in Red Bluff, and I looked outside, I said, I think I'm going to stay home and not shoot horses today, and so I sat by the fire, and I wanted to write a Texas country song. I'd never written one before, and so this was my first attempt, and it's on my latest album, Whiskey to Work. It's called Out of Style. So here we go. We held fast, we can use and break, and I said, okay. Little time apart wouldn't hurt, and I said, honey, take your time. So we were going out of town with the girls for the weekend. Somewhere sunny with wide open spaces where you could ride. Last thing you said, you were headed for somewhere in Texas. That's been 2 months now, and I'd seen or heard from you. So where'd you go, baby? I'm missing you like crazy. What was really going on behind your innocent smile? I'm nearly gone off the deep end. Wonder what you were thinking. What you meant when you be gone for just a little while. So you're taking time like it's going out of style. That night a little fight broke out, there were raindrops pouring. With the screaming and yelling, I remember clear as a bell. You said you couldn't stand the likes of me, and I thought you were just angry. Didn't know you'd really leave and put me through this living hell. Last thing you said, you were headed for somewhere in Texas. That's been long enough now to know I'll never see you again. So where'd you go, baby? I'm missing you like crazy. What was really going on behind your innocent smile? gone off the deep end. Wonder what you were thinking, and what you meant when you be gone for just a little while. But you're taking time like it's going out of style. It's going out of style.
Wow, man.
Thank you.
That was good.
Thank you.
I mean, I've heard some people come in here and play, and it's like, you know, I mean.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah. Man, so you're obviously going to be playing that
Yeah.
tomorrow night.
Yeah, that song was on the Texas country charts for a while, and it kind of, got a little bit of traction, so it's kind of became one of my more known songs, for anyone that knows me.
So who submits those to the country stations? Are you doing that too? Are you sending songs?
Yeah, I do a little bit, but, a lot of times artists hire a radio promoter that kind of does, because they have the connections, and so, yeah.
But there's a lot of artists nowadays that you're seeing they don't have promoters, they don't have agencies. It's just all self-done.
A lot of people can't, a lot of artists can't afford all that, and I've done little things at different times, but like consistently, most artists, you get into what some of that costs, they can't really afford to do that. But yeah, so a lot of artists just do it themselves. You're just, whatever place you're playing at, you just hit up that radio station a month or two early and say, hey, would you consider playing my song? And, so.
I really think, like I said, that, your music style, your voice, and, kind of like we talked, the red dirt,
Yeah.
That is just a popular, category, as more, like kind of the old country music. But as far as like that twang, it was awesome, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what else you got for us?
Man, I can sing my most known song. This is one that I can't take credit for writing this one. My buddy's back in Nashville, but this song's been recorded by a few different people, but it's the title track of it's the one that was on the screen earlier, Whiskey to Work. So this is Whiskey to Work. Here we go. I got that double barrel vision, put my money on drinking. I've been at it for a minute. No plan on quitting it, and damn well sure as hell know how to put that whiskey to work. I keep a fifth in my toolbox, 40 plus happy hour. Hit the sun in morning service, feeling that higher power. Keep a little flask in my boot, sneak a little sip and bow their heads down to pray. Hell, hey, I put that whiskey to work. Take that bourbon to church, baptize me in being. I'm a drinking machine, Kentucky so good it hurts. It's been quenching my thirst, sweating 90 proof right through my shirt. I put that whiskey to work. Wake up every morning already over the limit, 'cause the bottle on the table got nothing left in it. So I hit the liquor store, call them boss and tell them I'm running late. I'm open for business, I'm drinking 24/7. Gonna let that Holy Spirit take me right up to heaven. There'll be 7 drunken angels waiting on me at the pearly gates. Hell, hey, I put that whiskey to work. Take that bourbon to church, baptize me in being. I'm a drinking machine, Kentucky so good it hurts. It's been quenching my thirst, sweating 90 proof right through my shirt. I put that whiskey to work. I put that whiskey to work. Hell, hey.
That's good stuff, man.
Thank you.
So, for like that song, how did you get the inspiration to write that one?
So I actually didn't write that one. I was looking for extra songs for my album, and we just needed that one song. Like there's the main song, and then there's album songs. And I was performing at the local in Nashville, which is the Porch Light Pickers concert or songwriting series, and it's kind of where anybody from all over the world goes and tries to showcase their songs. And a lot of times there's hit songwriters sitting in their publishers, and that's kind of how you get your shot at getting to do stuff. And so I was sitting there, and anybody that's performing, they'll play their song. They put it in a playlist, and so they played one of my songs, and then the next song or two that came on was Whiskey to Work. It had already been demoed, and we're like, wow, that's a good song. And so I asked the guy, Dan Hudson, who is the host, and I said, hey, this Whiskey to Whiskey song, I said, who sings this? And he's like, oh, he said, this is a song I wrote, and that's the demo. And I'm like, wow. So I got his contact, and I said, hey, man, I want to record this and put it on my next album. And he's all, sure. And so that's kind of how it...
How does that work? Do you have to give him royalties? Do you have to pay him to use... Yeah,
you just have to register the song with BMI, and then they automatically take out the royalties. So,
and it goes to him somehow?
Him, and there's 4 other writers. Terry Lee Palmer, who's John Party's lead guitar player, he co-wrote it. Joey Green did a cut on it, who's had some #1 Texas songs. And then Casey Donahue recently cut it, so we're pretty stoked for that. So I don't know if it's... I like to think that Casey heard me sing it, and then wanted to record it, but I don't know if that was true or not.
Other than Garth Brooks, I know he's a good inspiration for you. What other artists do you kind of follow, or you think that you sound like?
Man, I tell everybody Dwight Yoakam and Vince Gill are kind of my 2 other favorite. Those are probably my 2 other favorite country singers. Biggest inspiration. I'm a huge Dwight Yoakam fan, and just his original sound is just everything. And Vince Gill, obviously, just probably the most amazing vocalist in country music, excellent guitar player, and so.
I just heard Dwight Yoakam is going to be playing down south, I think, over the summer.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So he's going back like everybody is. Everybody's back on tour.
Yeah. Probably needing some money.
Right?
Yeah. But no, I see Dwight, though. You can tell, when I've been to his shows, he loves what he does too. Because there's been some that, they had their success and they're probably kind of over it. But Dwight, you can tell he probably do it forever.
Still likes doing it.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever met any of these guys?
Yeah. I got to open for Dwight in 2018 at the Obsidian Amphitheater, and that was a highlight. I didn't get to meet him that night, but at a different show, we played his after party at the Pepper Mill, and I got to meet him then. So that was pretty cool. It was very quick. Just shake his hand, got a picture, and kind of had to.
And he's small, huh?
Yeah. Never met Vince Gill. I got to say, though, Lee Brice has been probably the coolest person I've opened for. Out of the 30, I've got to open for a lot of my heroes, but Lee Brice was the friendliest. He invited us on his tour bus, gave us some drinks, and went out and signed autographs with him after. It was just a really cool experience. So,
what's an artist that you really want to play with, meet, collaborate with, open up for?
Man, I'd probably Vince. That would be Vince Gill would be the ultimate collaboration if I had to.
So I don't know if we can play a full Garth song, but we could probably get because I don't know how they're gonna be but maybe 30 seconds or so.
Want to hear Garth song?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it is in the morning. I'll give you. But
here, let me. Yeah. What's your favorite Garth song to play?
Oh man, that's a tough one.
There's so many.
I got to say, Collin Baton Rouge. I don't know if I can do that this morning.
Oh, that's a fast one.
Man, when you have the whole band playing that, it's just it's really cool on stage. So, but I can do my other favorite. Probably heard this one a million times, but I'll do it for you. Yeah. This old highway's getting longer. Seem there ain't no inside. Sleep would be best, but I just can't afford to rest. I gotta ride in Denver tomorrow night. I called the house, but no one answered. More than last 2 weeks, no one's been home. I guess she's through with me. To tell the truth, I just can't see what's kept a woman holding on this long. Man, the white line's getting longer, and the saddle's getting cold. I'm much too young to feel this damn old. And all my cards are on the table with no waste left in the hole. I'm much too young to feel this damn old. Competition's getting younger, rougher broncs, no I can't recall. A worn out tape of Kris Kristofferson, lonely women and bad booze, says to be the only friends I've left at all. Man, the white line's getting longer and the saddle's getting cold. I'm much too young to feel this damn old. And all my cards are on the table with no waste left in the hole. I'm much too young to feel this damn old. Lord, I'm much too young to feel this damn old.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Thanks, man.
That's actually, I mean, really good.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Considering I wasn't really warmed up and it's 9 a.m., I guess, or whatever. It is harder to sing in the morning, you know, for artists a little bit, just because, you know. But thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, so tell me about like playing that. I mean, like when you go from like your music, which obviously is more unfamiliar than obviously Garth Brooks.
Oh yeah.
But then you roll into a, you know, Friends in Low Places or something like that.
Yeah.
Tell me about like a crazy experience like you had on stage when you just started playing and people just lost their mind, started jumping up on stage, all that stuff.
Well, yeah, that's a good one. So one of the craziest places I played is you know where Plymouth is?
No.
Kind of, it's like east of Sacramento, and it's kind of getting into wine country. And so they always have the Challenge of Champions rodeo over for high school.
Okay.
I don't know if they have a college rodeo over there, but they have anyway, they have rodeos, you know, amateur rodeos, some pro rodeos. And so I've, you know, been over there a lot. So somehow I got hired for the fair to headline they always put me on the rodeo night, right? So it just gets people just go crazy there. I don't know if they come out of the mountains, but I mean, it's always the coolest. I mean, people get on stage, sing with us, and it's just always like they almost have to have security, which I never hardly need security, but it's like, it gets crazy. So was it 2 years ago? I was there and some guy kept getting on stage, and you know, it was funny for a second, but we kept kind of doing it, and so
Like trying to dance or get it in your face, or
I don't know what he was trying to do, but it kind of got to where the band's like, okay, this guy, we need to get this guy off of here. It's getting to be a little too much. You know, he was tripping over the equipment, and so kind of asked him to get off. Well, he didn't like it, and he threw his hat down and tried to fight me on stage in front of the whole.
while you're singing.
While I'm singing, and I had my guitar, I was like, holy moly! I told him to get off. Like it had been my third time, so I wasn't super friendly about it. But he didn't like it. And he threw his hat down and put up his. I'm like, oh crap! And so, well, I'm like, okay, what do? I can, you know, fight this guy in front of 300 people on the stage, you know? And so I had my guitar on. So finally a guy came up and kind of grabbed him, and I mean, it went on for 30 minutes. He was wanting me to fight him, and
While he was down, now he was back in this audience.
Yeah, and I remember my bass player shoved him down the stairs because he wasn't happy. He didn't even care. He wanted me. Didn't care about any of the band members pushing him off the stage.
Were you looking at his girl while you were playing or something?
No, not that I know of. I think there's some alcohol involved, a lot of alcohol, and so that was. It seems like every time I play at that place, something crazy happens. I don't know what it is. It's just that area, and it was an experience. And then even that same night, we played. When I end the show with Friends in Low Places, and people just go nuts, and girls were on stage, and it was, and they even put a ramp out too, and this same thing. The guy every year, this old guy gets up there, has his overalls on, he dances on the thing. It's just, I don't know, it is pretty funny, and so every year we get booked there, I'm like, man, what's going to happen this year, you know?
Now, Chad, those weren't obviously the two that you played. Or the one that you played, those aren't your Christian songs, right?
No, those are my mainstream songs. But
and so are the Christian songs country too?
Yeah,
really,
Christian country, yeah.
Is that a popular demo?
It is. So Christian country's always been a thing, but they've been marketed as positive country. And I mean, I know Cody Johnson, Blake Shelton, a lot of the big stars. They have on their albums. They almost have one positive country song per project.
Really?
Because it's becoming such a big genre. And I'm trying to think what, like Blake Shelton, one of his recent ones was called Jesus Got a Tight Grip. And with all his other mainstream songs, he put that song out, and that was a positive country song, you know, so.
Well, what's your favorite one to play or most popular?
Man, my fourth one is out right now. It's number 2 in the nation for Christian country. But I'll play That Ain't My Church because that was one of my number 1 songs. Is that okay? To play that one? Cool. Yeah. And I got to get the old capo for that.
Obviously, it's a different crowd, right?
Yeah. But I play these at my mainstream, you know, because I'm trying to, you know, keep that out there. And
sure.
Try to help touch people and, you know, lead them in the right direction, hopefully. And so, yeah, this song, this was my follow-up to my first number 1, What Would Jesus Do? That was my first number 1 Christian country song. This one, my friend Corey Lee Barker and Pastor Barry Smith wrote this, and they pitched me about 8 or 10 songs, and this first time I heard this, this is a hit for Christian country. So it's called That Ain't My Church. Somewhere where you get judged, he's sitting with a pew, that ain't my church. If it's somewhere that forgiveness depends on what you do, that ain't my church. Well, if it's all about the dollar sign, that ain't what the Father had in mind. A church is somewhere you can lay it down, find your peace on holy ground, and know you're loved much more than you deserve. Somewhere that the Spirit flows, lights up the heart, renews the soul, and gives you hope that's wrapped up in the Word. What I'm talking about, 'cause if it's anything else, that ain't my church. That ain't my church. If they water down the message so there's no way to offend, that ain't my church. If the truth takes a back seat, that plays and pleases man, that ain't my church. If the love of Jesus ain't what it's about, if they discount the cross, they can count me out. A church is somewhere you can lay it down, find your peace on holy ground, know you're loved much more than you deserve. Somewhere that the Spirit flows, lights up the heart, renews the soul, and gives you hope that's wrapped up in the Word. That's what I'm talking about, 'cause if it's anything else, it ain't my church. That ain't my church. That ain't my church. That ain't my church.
Good job, man.
Thank you.
That was good stuff.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Let's take a break real quick, and then we'll come back and hear about what's happening this weekend and what's in the future for you. So we'll be right back to What's Up North County.
What's up, North County? This is Teresa Branch with Airflow Filter Service. We are a family-owned business right here in the North County. We have air filters, oils and lubricants, and hydraulic hoses. We provide services that include air filter cleaning, DPF cleaning, and waste oil collection. Come check us out at 1140 Ramada Drive, and we can help you with all your automotive and industrial vehicle needs.
Hi, this is Omid.
And Deanna.
At North County Junk Removal, we are a business known for helping our neighbors and our community.
Let us help you save money and get rid of any unwanted items.
And rest assured that our professional team adheres to global standards of safety and recycling. We are fully licensed and insured for your peace of mind.
We are locally owned and operated, and we look forward to helping you with all your junk removal needs.
Please call us at 805-769-6966.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today, we can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.
Hey, what's up, North County? Welcome back to the Morning Brew. We have Chad Bushnell here, country music singer, Christian artist of the year, right? Mm-hmm. All kinds of awards, but you're going to be opening and playing down there at the Cal Poly Rodeo tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So first time at Cal Poly, right?
Yeah, I'm stoked. Something I've wanted to do for a long time, actually, because I've been to it a few times, watching my sister compete and finally get my shot to perform there, so.
What event is your sister competing in?
She doesn't anymore. She's the assistant coach, but she competed in team roping and breakaway mostly, so she's a roper. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
So Chad, let me ask you a question as far as because you mentioned positive music, mm-hmm. which is essentially Christian music. They changed the name or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be honest, it sounds a lot like just regular country music. So how do you decipher the difference between positive and regular? I mean,
well, it's a little more kind of in between. I have a song, Thank God, perfect example. The first two lines, Thank God was #1 for Christian country in 2021. The first two lines are, I go to church when I can, I drink a beer now and then. So think about it like that. That's in, Blake Shelton's song, Jesus Got a Tight Grip. That song was on the Christian charts when mine was on there. And basically, that's what that song's about, too. I mean, I try to be good. I try to be a God-fearing guy, but I'm going to mess up a little bit. And
sure.
So that's where positive country kind of, yeah.
So, and who decides of the music category? You or somebody else? Or somebody goes, no, Chad, this is not like Christian. We got to go over here.
Yeah. You kind of, I'll write stuff. And then when I write with Corey Lee Barker and Mark Bernowski, too, the guys I write with mostly back in Nashville, they kind of, they're in the know. I mean, that's what they do 5 days a week. They write full time. And so they kind of tell me, say, yeah, this song's going to be more of this is pitched just for positive country or for pop or for Christmas or, whatever they decide to pitch it for. And then when I send it to the Christian charts, obviously the guy on the Christian Music Weekly charts, he'll decide, he'll say, well, yeah, and he's pretty honest, so,
It's I mean, we were talking before and last week, you're trying to get in touch with different radio stations and this and that, nobody's getting back. And I would think the Christian guys would get back to you, right?
They do. The Christian, they've all been pretty great, and there's different areas. I mean, there's, I don't know if you remember Cashbox Magazine, but that's been a big chart for a long time. It's kind of drifted off a little bit, but I mean, there's still a lot of people on there. They're all pretty good though. I mean, they're very welcoming. I mean, there has to be something they like, obviously, but I would say they're definitely more friendlier than the mainstream. The mainstream radio stations can be very tough. I mean, because they get hit up by.
Sure, they're getting slammed.
Yeah,
and it's cutthroat.
Very cutthroat. Yeah.
Now, have you ever considered I don't know, this you might be like, Randy, dude, don't never say that. Like American Idol?
Yeah, I've never tried out for American Idol. But I've tried out for The Voice a few times, and I got really close one year to make it on the show, and it just didn't quite work out for me to do that. So.
How long ago was that?
Oh man, that was 5-6 years ago, probably.
So do you think you're at a point in your career and where you're at, you're like, are you beyond that, or?
Man, I don't know. I mean, I would still, if I had an opportunity to get on The Voice, I think American Idol, they have a certain age cutoff. But the voice, I mean, I still, you know, I mean, it's hard. I mean, how do I say this? It's hard to go down there and get told no. I mean, you have to have very thick skin. So like I've done it 3 times. I'm kind of like, you know, I don't know if I should try a 4th time. I mean, if I had the chance to be on there, I definitely would. But, you know, I mean, right now doing my own independent thing, I mean, I get to play so many cool shows and do cool stuff like this. And so I'm just kind of,
And like we were saying before, you never know. You can tag, you know, the right people that see it.
Yeah.
You know, that see like little glips. You know, like the shorts. You know, shorts seem to get a lot more traction than full, you know, videos and stuff like that. And if you can tag, you know, Blake Shelton, you know, all these different producers or, you know, songwriters or artists.
Yeah.
You know, you never know, something might break.
Mm-hmm. No, that's true. That's why I keep putting those videos out constantly on social media every day, just hoping that, you know, they get seen by somebody.
Awesome.
You never know.
So what does the future look like for you?
Man, lots of touring, you know, really expanding this year. I think I'm in 7 different states. You know, we're hitting Colorado, Wyoming, and Montana, you know, and so really just continuing to tour, trying to get my social media bigger and just kind of getting everything bigger basically, and hopefully get something on the radio. I mean, I would really like to get something in the top 100 on the Billboard. That would be something I could see doing the next few years, and it's hard to do. But
so if you were to take all of your music that you've written, what's the one song that you think that has the potential in the next 6 months to get on the radio?
Man, that's a tough one. You know, I have this song that I wrote called "Taking Our Country Back," and I played it for some big guys in Nashville, and you know, and they're like, that song's not going to get you signed because it's against what the record labels are doing. But I think it hits home for a lot of artists that are struggling out there, and a lot of people that are kind of tired of, you know, some of the stuff that's going on in the music industry. And so it's kind of I'm not comparing it, but Oliver Anthony with that song he sang. You know, a lot of people, that's why they got so popular, because he talked about stuff that's really happening. And so I wrote this song called "Taking Our Country Back," and I really think if that got recorded right and in the right hands, it could maybe do something. You know, so.
So do you have any aspirations just to write country for other artists?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. No, I'm always, most recently I've gotten to write for a guy named Alex Miller, and he was on American Idol. I don't know if you know who he is. He's kind of a TikTok star now, but he's a good buddy of mine, really, really nice guy. And, you know, I've got to write with him the last 2 trips to Nashville. And so I'm hoping he records one of those. So that would be pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so, Chad, how does somebody find you? Are you website, Instagram, YouTube? I mean, what's your everything?
Yeah, so website is chadbushnell.com. I pretty much keep my tour dates posted on there all the time. Mostly Facebook, Instagram, TikTok at Chad Bushnell Music, Spotify. You know, I really encourage people to go to my Spotify and follow me, because that's what really helps, you know. And so mostly those, yeah.
So the Spotify helps what? What do you mean?
Spotify, you know, the bigger your numbers on Spotify, the bigger you know, usually when venues go to look to book you, they check out your Spotify or your, you know, Instagram, TikTok. That's just what they look at now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so the more people can go to my Spotify, Chad Bushnell Music, Instagram, TikTok, you know, really helps me out. So.
Huh.
Yeah.
Just because I'm like, we're doing that with the Spotify really seems really difficult to like get a lot of traction, and you know, for people, I mean, people listen to YouTube, you know, they'll watch this on our YouTube page. Yeah. By the way, go to our YouTube page, whatsupnorthcounty.com, or not just What's Up North County. Yeah. But the Spotify, it just seems like it's like slow molasses type stuff.
It is, and a lot of it's controlled. You know, I mean, there's so many, you know, a lot of those people. You know, I won't get into much of the business part of it, but it's tough to get, you know, traction on there, because, you know, a lot of those big artists, I mean, they're paying for ads, and you know, you're competing with that. So, and a lot of people that are, I guess, kind of blue collar level artists, you're out there just, you're handing out cards, you're telling people, hey, go follow my page. So, you know, there's only so much you can do. So.
Awesome. Yeah. And so if somebody's out there also looking for a shoer, are you ready to do that too?
I guess so. Yeah, you got to keep that money coming in, you know. And
awesome.
I still like to be around horses. So.
Awesome, Chad. Well, I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
And you give us a treat, little preview before the Cal Poly Rodeo happening tomorrow night. What time is that kickoff? 7 o'clock?
The rodeo starts at 6:30. Doors open at 5. Rodeo starts at 6:30, and then I think as soon as the rodeo goes over,
you're playing after.
As soon as it's
after
done.
The rodeo's done, you're taking the stage.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Well, it was a pleasure. It was fun talking with you and
thank you.
and hearing some music. And you're gonna play us out. What are you gonna play today?
Yeah, I got a request for You Can Drive My Truck, so I guess I'll play that. So
Awesome.
yeah. All right, thank you. Jacked up, four-wheel drive Ford truck, chrome on the tires, pretty little thing sitting next to me. She asks if she can grab the wheel, take it for a spin out in the hills, rev it up, go at full speed. I said, you know I don't let just anyone. Girl, go ahead, let's have us some fun. You can drive my truck anywhere that you want to. You can drive my truck back in the woods. Cruise on the dirt road, middle of the country, anywhere you think you should. Feel like you want, you can take it out, but go a little crazy. And if we get stuck, we'll get in the backseat and make love. You can drive my truck. Take the back road, edge of town. We can cruise it with the windows down. Rev it up past the city limit sign. The wait stop, just overpass. We can use another tank of gas. Fill her up, grab us a Coors Light. Crank up the music on the country radio. Well, come on, baby, let's go. You can drive my truck anywhere that you want to. You can drive my truck back in the woods. Cruise on a dirt road, middle of the country, anywhere you think you should. Like you want, you can take it out, but go a little crazy. And if we get stuck, we'll get in the backseat and make love. You can drive my truck. You can drive my truck.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today, we can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.
Hi, it's Alex with Suprema Meat Market. We are a Mexican meat market with a taqueria. Come enjoy our high-quality cuts and meats. We offer choice and prime Harris Ranch beef, as well as chicken, seafood, and pork items. In the taqueria, all of our tacos come with handmade tortillas. We also offer specialty items like chilaquiles and chile rellenos. Come enjoy Taco Tuesday with Suprema. We offer our tacos at $1.99 each. Suprema Meat Market is located at 8950 Montecito Avenue in Atascadero.
Are you tired of looking at that worn out concrete garage floor, patio, or porch? Look no further than MGP Coatings, where customer service reigns supreme. Our team goes above and beyond to ensure your satisfaction every step of the way. Before we even start coating, we meticulously repair your concrete, ensuring a flawless finish that lasts. And here's the best part. Our Pentec coatings are 4 times stronger than epoxy, so they won't chip or peel, making maintenance a breeze. Plus, they come with a limited lifetime warranty. Call us today at 805-952-5301 or check out our Facebook and Instagram and experience the MGP coating difference. Don't wait. Transform your garage, patio, porch, or driveway and become a part of the MGP coating family.
What's up, North County? This is Teresa Branch with Airflow Filter Service. We are a family-owned business right here in the North County. We have air filters, oils and lubricants, and hydraulic hoses. We provide services that include air filter cleaning, DPF cleaning, and waste oil collection. Come check us out at 1140 Ramada Drive, and we can help you with all your automotive and industrial vehicle needs.
Hi, this is Omid
And Deanna.
at North County Junk Removal. We are a business known for helping our neighbors and our community.
Let us help you save money and get rid of any unwanted items.
And rest assured that our professional team adheres to global standards of safety and recycling. We are fully licensed and insured for your peace of mind.
We are locally owned and operated, and we look forward to helping you with all your junk removal needs.
Please call us at 805-769-6966.
Atascadero isn't your standard getaway. We're unique, just like you. We're growing, transforming, and figuring it out as we go. We're a town filled with innovators, artists, makers, and game changers. We're a little bit country, a little bit funky, and always authentic. We're here for your good times, your slow times, and your changing times. We're all in Atascadero. Come see for yourself. Learn more at visitatascadero.com.